your vision might be to be a 15 client agency, and you just need someone to help you so that you can not be burnt out and, stress all the time. But maybe you want 100 clients.
Yeah.
And if that is the goal, well, then the clients who will only work with the agency because of you, that's not going to work.
No, it's not.
That's a whole different type of agency than, a 15-person agency.
Welcome to the Happy Clients Podcast, brought to you by Dot & Company. Whether you're a virtual assistant, an agency owner, or a client-facing account manager, we all deal with clients. Lucky for you, client management is what we do best. Now, let's dig in, chat cam life, and have some fun along the way. Cheers to happy clients.
Welcome back to the show. We have Jenna and Jill, senior department managers.
So official.
Senior
department manager.
Sure. They're dinosaurs here at Dot, so
We've been here forever.
we'll call them seniors. Something that comes up a lot for agency owners is they're scared to transition their old clients to new account managers. They're nervous, rightfully so.
Yeah.
I would feel the same.
Yeah.
But this is obviously something that's stunting their growth. Most agency owners want to get out of the day-to-day, out of the Slack channels, be able to scale their agency, but this is getting in their way.
Yeah.
So what do you guys see, and what are some things that are getting in their way?
Definitely, I would definitely say that fear is getting in their way, because I totally respect that, because some of these clients that you've had for, like, since you started your agency, really, they've gotten you where you are today. So it's important to respect and, take care of that relationship, and you can't feel comfortable just passing it over to anyone. Right. So building that trust with your account manager, knowing that they're going to take care of your client, I think is really important. But getting past your own fear of, worst case scenario happening, or maybe the account manager might not give the same dedication or relationship building that maybe you as an agency owner would have. I think we need to develop what the standard is for account management, and trust that your account manager is going to be able to take care of that client in the right way, and maybe even better, because they'll be dedicated to building that relationship and nurturing it and making sure that the client's happy.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. I won't lie. I think for a lot of agencies that we work with, it can be something that we can do everything right, but they're still not willing to let go.
Yeah.
And I often, when I speak to agency owners, I ask them, are you okay with staying where you are now? Are you okay with managing this client long-term? Usually their answer is no. So that right there is the answer. We have to figure out how we're going to get you out of that seat. And I think for a lot of agency owners, it can look like maybe the account manager starting with some lower tier clients, seeing what that looks like, and growing from there. But I do think, to Jenna's point as well, you have somebody dedicated in this seat. Chances are you want them focusing on those high retainer clients, having a dedicated person. So making sure that you have that trust in that person, I totally understand that's important. It's difficult to blindly trust. So seeing, what their practices look like, how they're communicating with clients. And then it's really about positioning that account manager as the best person for them. You're there to support, you're still there talking about strategy maybe, or you're in the background, but chances are if you reach out to so-and-so account manager, that you're going to hear from them 20 times faster than you're going to hear from me. And they know your account, they talk to the team every day, they're way more looped in than me. It's about giving the account manager this authority, and you have to do that. You have to. It's not an option.
And then it gets even harder, because you need to continue with the follow through on doing that. Even if that client reaches out to you, texts you, or, whatever communication path you guys used to have, that it feels like you're pulled to communicate with them again. But it is important to continue to transfer that trust and ownership of the account back over to the account manager, so that you can stay out of the day to day.
I like what you said, Jill, about thinking about the big vision.
Yeah.
And kind of that's the grounding piece for the agency owner. It's okay, in a year from now, are you comfortable still talking to these clients? They're going to say no. Right? No, like that's not the point.
No.
And kind of grounding them in that bigger vision is really important. And I like what you said, Jenna, about it's easy to say, yeah, okay, this is how I'm going to integrate my account manager, but it's the actual day to day of actually following through on that.
Yeah.
And I think most agency owners fail there.
Yeah, 100%.
They get scared.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially when they see the text. Like, we all have that relationship with clients. Like, we have our own clients where we text them because we know that's the best way to get a hold of them. They know they can reach us. You have to be able to say, like, you know, thanks for reaching out. I'm going to refer you back to Jenna, your account manager. She knows what's going on. I'm always here if you need anything. You can keep that line of communication open, but it shouldn't be rooted in things that are happening with the projects happening day to day. I've had so many conversations with agency owners where they come to me and are like, you know, I feel like I'm still in the weeds. I feel like I'm still in the day to day. I don't know what it is. And then we get to this sort of aha moment of like, you're texting your clients and your account manager doesn't know what's going on. You're spending all this time updating your CAM about this client said this is happening with this project. And it's not allowing your account manager to first understand what's going on in the weeds of those projects, but also build that relationship. You can't transfer that relationship if you're still holding on to it. And not placing, again, that level of authority and trust in your account manager too. So it's scary, but we've seen it work for so many agencies. Sometimes it takes months, sometimes it takes a year, but they do get there. And that's kind of what takes them to that next level.
Yeah. And let's be real, like clients are humans, right? So transitions are hard, right? And if they're used to getting a hold of you all the time, having to build a relationship with someone else might take some time. Yeah. So patience, understanding, thinking outside the box on how we can maybe send the client a gift from the account manager saying, hey, I'm really excited to be working with you, you know, setting like the right tone as well, just to make sure that the client does feel trust being built, and having the agency owner really proliferate that like in their conversations with with their clients so that they feel that trust coming from the agency owner is very important too.
Yeah. I think also like digging deeper, most clients, when they transfer that relationship over, they'll be like, cool, awesome. I have this person that I can email and they'll answer me. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes that's the situation. Yeah.
But other times maybe you'll have clients where it's like, oh no, I worked with you for years. Like I'm here because of you. Yeah. Often that's what we hear agency owners say. My clients are here because of me. So I think in those scenarios, it's important to get on a call with the account manager, with the client, and say like, okay, what are your fears around this? Have them talk about it and address those points directly. If it's, well, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to get a hold of you. Well, you're going to be able to get responses even faster. I'm afraid that, you know, you're going to forget about my account and I'm not going to have the strategic guidance. Well, don't worry about that. We're still meeting weekly. I'm still in the background. And you're going to be hearing more detailed updates from your account manager. Just addressing those concerns instead of just being like, it'll all be fine. You'll see. And then, you know, that client has that anxiety. I think there's nothing wrong with just having a real conversation at the end of the day as well.
Yeah.
Do you ever, so obviously we're talking about kind of black and white where it's bring in an account manager and then I'm gone. What about when you're bringing in an account manager, but you're not necessarily planning to walk away? Or maybe the goal is in a year you want to walk away, but you want this account manager here for now. Is there a situation where it's really slow and it's, I'm bringing in this account manager, she's here to help, I'm still here, and then kind of slowly getting away? Or is it easier to do kind of black and white?
It really depends on the client, really. Yeah. I think it's more of a customized approach, and I think that's why the intent with the account manager is really important too, to define what does success even look like with transferring with clients, right? Sometimes it is a phased approach, right? We can't, like Rome wasn't built in a day and it wasn't built by one person. So sometimes we need to work on something a little slower, and some transitions in the same agency are going to be faster than others, right? So it's understanding the needs of the client, the needs of the relationship. Maybe if the client hasn't been seeing great results, maybe now is not the right time to be switching, you know, account managers or transferring from you, the agency owner, over to someone brand new. So just reading the room is really important, but you can see it happening successfully slowly or quickly. It really just depends on the relationship. So understanding where the client is, their health status at that time is important, and figuring out what are the best next steps, what is achievable with that client, and working through that. And you'll see incremental time being built up, which will reinforce how positive it is to build that trust with your account manager inside your client relationships too.
Yeah, I would say too, like we all work with agencies where they have a few clients that they just love working with. Like maybe it's somebody that they've worked with for years, or even just like a really cool client comes on that they're like, I can't wait to be on this account. And maybe they're the main strategist. They're kind of the person that has talked to the client for a year. They have that relationship. I don't think there's anything wrong with being involved in those clients that you want to be involved with. Where people get it wrong is not defining how you work with the account manager in that setting. So maybe your account manager is handling 10 lower tier accounts. They have that full relationship. You're not involved. But there's these 3 clients that you love working with. You love being on calls. You're the main strategist. The account manager can still be involved, but you have to define what that looks like.
Absolutely.
You can't both be reaching out with updates. You can't both be
having separate calls with the client and not updating each other on what's going on.
Yeah, I think like we're account managers are humans again at the end of the day. Like we understand, and sometimes it can be a slower journey, but just making sure that you have parameters around what that looks like. Yeah.
I think that's so important. And I think tying it back to where you want your agency to go, because your vision might be to be a 15 client agency and you just need someone to help you so that you can not be burnt out and, you know, stress all the time, but maybe you want 100 clients.
Yeah.
And if that is the goal, well, then the clients who will only work with the agency because of you, that's not going to work.
No, it's not.
That's a whole different type of agency than, you know, a 15 person agency. So it's really figuring out what you want for the vision of the company and then building the team and setting it up to align with that.
100%.
Or else you're kind of setting yourself up to fail.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, this was really insightful. How can agency owners really sit down and identify the best path forward for them? You know, if they're sitting here listening and saying, I have all my clients who talk to me right now. I don't even know how to get from here to this point of freedom that I'm envisioning. Like, where do I even start?
It's definitely getting clear on those relationships with clients. And how much time do you want to be spending on client communication? Because if you do enjoy it, great. Yeah. Love that for you. Love that for us. But if you are taking care of strategy and taking care of all these different hats that you're wearing, you can't also focus on client account management and have it be successful. So you do have to get clear on, you know, where those relationships are and how you can best be a support to your own agency by getting out of that client facing seat and allowing someone to be dedicated to those relationships and really building that for your agency and for you.
Yeah, I think, you know, we have to be honest. Sometimes this is a numbers game. Like it's as simple as looking at, maybe you need to look at your client list and go, okay, I have tier 1, 2, and 3 clients. These are my clients that are the most important to me. Maybe they pay the highest monthly retainer. Maybe they've been here, whatever that looks like. And then starting to determine from there, how would I feel most comfortable passing over these clients? Maybe we do tier 3 first, then we move to tier 2, then we move to tier 1. What could that timeline look like and what's something that you're comfortable with? And then you can really sit down and work with your account manager on that messaging. Often it's like, hey, you're going to be working with this more senior person who's dedicated to you and your success in the agency. How amazing is that? They're here just to make sure that you're happy and that we're doing a great job. So I think sitting down, looking at where it makes sense, you're paying a salary for the role, so it needs to make sense on paper. How many clients does that person need to be managing to make sense for you? And it's okay to be honest with yourself in that way, I think, and just look at it from that perspective, especially if that's going to make you feel more comfortable about, okay, if I need this person to be here, I need them managing X amount of clients for it to make sense on paper. That's just the truth.
Well, soon we're going to talk about when's the time to bring in an account manager and maybe how many clients that person could manage. So stay tuned for that episode coming soon. But yeah, this was super helpful. And I think this is a big pain point for most agency owners is it's that fear. Like Jenna said from the beginning, it's how am I going to get there? And what does that look like for me? But really sitting down and being clear with yourself is step 1. So
isn't it, there's a saying, the longest journey begins with one step or something like that. That's really what it is. It's taking that first step, building that trust with an account manager and just start transferring those accounts over and build that trust and feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's doable. We see
It's
it.
so doable. We do it every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels impossible, but I promise it's not.
No.
It's not.
And that's what's going to get you the freedom that you want. It's why most people go into starting their own agency is they have this vision of the freedom.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is kind of in between getting to that freedom. So
100%.
it's doable.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, ladies. This was really
Yes,
good.
thank you.
We'll see you on the next episode, but thank you for tuning into the Happy Clients podcast.
Cheers to happy clients.